how's it going? I'm Sommelier Leslie Miller with AmuseWine.com. Two E's coming at you. Tonight we are at Cooks of Crocushill and I am with two of my favorite guys. Why? Because we have a perfect pairing of food and drink sitting right here. Tonight we are with my chef, Chef Mike Shannon, Culinary Director of Cooks of Crocushill, and the god when it comes to food. And the unthinkable creations that come out of this man are unbelievable. And on my left I have the most magnificent Cicerone of all of, you know what, the United States, dude, just call it what it is, the United States.
I'll accept it. I'll take that.
Michael Agnew of aperfectpint.net. Check him out. It's got a great little website, lots of really fun beer facts and fun, good beer blogging. Tonight what we did is we paired several different courses with beer and wine, of course, with Mike's fabulous creations, and we found that we had some really stellar pairings.
Beautiful pairings.
Right?
Great.
But what we want to focus on are two of the best pairings that we thought we kind of all agreed on, where Michael paired up a beer, I paired up a wine, and we came out with these unbelievable kind of pairings that really just were kind of mind-blowing. We're going to start first with the dessert because we do have what's in our glass here, which compared to the dessert. Mike, why don't you talk about what you made for dessert for us?
Cozy comfort food, wintertime, and we were trying to do something around the idea of a s'more. But pot de creme is where we ended up. So it's a s'more pot de creme. Think milk chocolate in the rich pot de creme custard, a little bit of graham cracker crust, a little marshmallow, toasted with a torch on top, and you capture those flavors in a winter eatable type dessert. The key piece to me was trying to hit all the toasty notes that you get with a real s'more.
Yep. And unique as well, because Mike actually made the recipe all on his own.
There's not a whole lot of recipes for
there's not another one out there.
Pot de cremes
So
out there, so it was nice.
What was super cool about this is that we actually did a comparative and really a contrast. So Michael and I don't speak actually before the class when it comes to what we're pairing to it. We're not trying to fit the same bill. We're not trying to do, we are literally coming together and showing up, and here we are with the class, and we unveil it as we go.
We're just bringing it.
We're bringing it, right? So what I brought was, it's a Moscato and Prosecco blend, and this is from Astoria Lounge. I know, cute girly package, but this is really nice because it had a really fun little orange blossom aspect to it, yet there's a very light, bubbly side to the Prosecco that, for my element, really kept, I thought, the palate clean. It kept it sort of popping. You could get through the chocolate. It really made sense, I think, with the orange blossom and the chocolate together. But at the same time, if you wanted to move on to the next course with something else, you definitely could because it was nice and light.
And I went for the complementary flavors with Rogue Chocolate Stout from Rogue Brewing in Oregon. A big, rich, creamy, chocolatey stout with milk and bittersweet chocolate flavors. Kind of like chocolate syrup in a bottle. Well, chocolate syrup comes in a bottle, but kind of like chocolate syrup in a beer.
Exactly.
It was like drinking and eating double Dutch chocolate. I mean, we were talking about how the flavors really melted together.
Yeah, I was aiming for chocolate overload.
Yeah, it was definitely done and really outstanding. Good stuff.
And what I said during the class, one of the things that I found fascinating with this was the way the two work together. The complementary flavors with the chocolate and the dessert sort of melded into one. Whereas I thought the wine, the contrasting flavors, it was like chocolate cake with a raspberry sauce. Kind of, that's what it made me think of.
And for me as the chef, I really thought that I would not have put these two together with the same dish until they were with the same dish. And then exactly what you said, the chocolate was in there, and this was a nice light, clean palate. Cut the marshmallow cream that was kind of hanging around the top. Really, really nice pairing, super job.
Yeah. Now here is the course that actually brought me to a full sweat. We had a pot roast tonight that, let me tell you, you're living in Minnesota, you gotta have some pot roast when it comes to a Minnesota winter, right? Well, we again went head to head with a little beer and wine. And when I was really making my pairing, I was thinking about the carrots, the garlic, the onions, kind of all those aspects of the root vegetables, and I love sort of that sweet note when you caramelize onions. And what about the pot roast? Was it unique, or was it kind of a more traditional?
No, very classic pot roast, just seared and then braised in a little bit of red wine and a little bit of beef stock. So roasted carrots and shallots. Very, very straightforward because I was trying to get down the middle so you guys could really come with your pairings.
Yep. I chose actually Carmenere, which is a grape out of Chile, and this is Route 1. Route 1 is, you can find it pretty much everywhere. And Carmenere is a grape they thought for years was Merlot. It has a nice, dark, oozy, sort of juicy, berry, jammy side to it, but at the same time there's like a sliced like jalapeno right down the center of it. So I wanted to sort of snuggle up to the carrots and the onions, and at the same time it's dark enough, I thought, to go with the meat.
And I think the pairings worked exactly the way that Leslie's describing. While she was thinking about the carrots and onions and wanted it to also match the meat, I was thinking about the meat.
No vegetarians here.
Figured whatever I got would also go with the carrots and onions. So I went with a porter, a London porter from Meantime out of London. It's fairly light. It's not a big heavy porter. Chocolatey, balancing bitterness, just a hint of roast, not overly burnt and roasty. But it really picked up the roastiness of the meat.
Oh,
There's a little sweetness there that also went with the carrots and the onions.
It was really amazing to taste those two with that dish.
Yeah.
And it was a very, very straightforward pot roast, and both of those pairings were really making the flavors come out.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, when I had a sip of that beer with the pot roast, it was like, it sort of quenched my thirst after having that pot roast. It was so good. And then the wine kind of did the same thing for me. But overall, obviously, you can see that we had a really successful class, as we do every single time that we are here at Cooks of Crocus Hill.
Cheers.
So cheers to my friends, here's to people who came, here's to cooks, here's to all of us who drink and eat really well. And thanks so much for joining us on AmuseWine.com. Hope to see you soon. Stay tuned for more wine and beer, probably pairings in the future. Cheers.